Good morning. Welcome to another day of science. It is Wednesday, February 3rd. This is your Wednesday walkthrough video. Let's take a quick look at what's coming on the agenda today. First, Google Meet today at 11:30 to 11:45. Be there. Be there. Then you got the walkthrough video. Hello, that's what's going on right now. 2, read a page titled Metamorphic Rocks. Complete the Metamorphic Rock quick check. And again, attend the Google Meet. Today, I can identify the types of metamorphic rocks based on appearance. Performance test. Students will view the metamorphic rock slideshow and some rock samples, and I will be successful when I have scored at least 6 out of 8 on the quick check. So here we are in the Wednesday folder. The metamorphic rock page, which we'll look at in just a second. The quick check. I believe 4 questions. It's out of 8 points. And then, of course, the link to the Google Meet. I'm also going to send it to you guys in a message. You can't avoid it. All right. The metamorphic rock page, here's what it's looking like. Similar to igneous and sedimentary, where we've got a slideshow embedded. Let's take a quick look at the old slideshow. I can define metamorphic. I can explain the difference between foliated and non-foliated. Here we go. So we know that metamorphic rocks are rocks that are pre-existing rocks, either igneous or sedimentary, that change into something new. Where and how they form. You need lots of heat and lots of pressure to take an existing rock and change it to a metamorphic rock. You can't get it hot enough to melt. You can't melt it because that would be an igneous rock. You just get it pretty nice and warmed up so it becomes a little bit soft. They're typically found deep within the Earth's surface, formed during mountain building, that kind of stuff, where all those conditions where there are lots of heat and pressure inside the Earth. We split them into 2 types of metamorphic rocks. We have ones that are called foliated, and foliated, you'll see they have these lines or banding on them, and sometimes they line up nice and straight. Sometimes the banding gets all squiggly. Still counts as foliated. And the reason that happens is the minerals become aligned when they're exposed to that heat and pressure, so they kind of line up and create those stripes. And then they're, of course, non-foliated, which you'll notice there's no striping or banding on them. It just has more of a globular appearance. But what we also want to look at is what, when you have an existing when you have an existing sedimentary rock or an existing igneous rock, what kind of rock does it turn into when it undergoes metamorphism, when it's subject to that intense heat and pressure? What do our existing rocks change into? What kind of metamorphic rocks do they change into? So if we start out with granite, we saw some samples of granite on Monday in the slideshow. Nice looking rock. People make countertops out of it and that kind of stuff. Granite, when it's exposed to metamorphic process, becomes gneiss. The G is silent on that, so it's pronounced nice. And it's nicely striped, nicely banded, nicely foliated. So that's kind of a good way to remember that. And you can see those layers of light and dark. So there's light and dark minerals in granite, but when it undergoes metamorphism, those light and dark minerals sort of line up together and group up together. So that's what granite becomes. Basalt, a very common type of extrusive, sometimes intrusive, but highly extrusive igneous rock. Right here, when it undergoes metamorphism, it becomes a metamorphic rock called amphibolite. I don't know who's naming these. That's a confusing name. It's a weird name. But yes, basalt becomes amphibolite. Fun one to say. Then we have sedimentary rock transformations. Let's look at some of these. Shale, which is relatively soft rock when it's sedimentary. When it's exposed to metamorphic processes, it becomes slate or sometimes schist. You got to be careful saying schist too, all right? You can walk up to your friends and say, hey, check out this piece of schist, and you just hold up a rock. Classic joke, classic. So slate becomes schist, and it gets shale becomes slate or schist, and it gets a lot harder. Goes from a soft sedimentary rock to a very, very hard metamorphic rock. Sandstone, a very common type of sedimentary rock. Here's a picture of sandstone right there. When it undergoes metamorphism, it becomes quartzite. Quartzite gets a lot harder. You can still kind of see that sand graining appearance to it, but all those grains are compressed a lot more and almost gets that quartz-like appearance, so it's called quartzite. Then we have limestone, which turns into marble. Limestone's a kind of sedimentary rock where you'll find like lots of shells and organic material and stuff like that. And then when it gets compressed, it turns into marble, and it becomes much more valuable because it's much harder. Kind of has a prettier appearance than limestone as well. But marble is also used in construction and that kind of stuff. And that is it for the metamorphic rock slideshow. So then use all that information that you gained during that slideshow and use it to help you complete the metamorphic rock quick check. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. I will see you all at the Google Meet today at 11:30. Have a wonderful day. Good luck. Bobolik out.